Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Let's check the volumes. All right, here we go. One time, two time, three times. Anytime you like, it's us. Who are we? We are the legends, known as the Happiness Crew. I just made that up.
That was brilliant.
Happiness is Easy podcast starring the one and only Nicola Morgan and Dominic Nelson Ashley, doing our best to elevate you and lighten up your life. Here we go.
Here we go. How are you, Dominic?
I'm all good, can't complain. I met. Well, it depends how deep you want to go early on. How deep we going early on?
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. I spoke to a friend. I hadn't spoken to him for a while. I've known him for about how many years? Known him about 30 years. Yeah, a strong 25 plus. So he's he's just split up with his partner. Um, and he'd been with her for about 3.5 years. All right. Similar age to us. His previously to that, he'd had his wife. He'd been married for like years and years and years, and his wife died of cancer. So it took a lot for him to like get into another relationship, right?
Yeah.
So and they just with his new partner, like they'd had some nice holidays, to like far-flung exotic places and all that kind of thing. So I was chatting to him about it, and he was saying, okay, even though he had, part of, he had a new partner, and he's having a good time with his partner, but there's always that, I'm having a good time with his new partner, but there's always survivor's guilt. There's always survivor's guilt. It's like, how can he have a good time? How can he allow himself to have a good time with somebody else going to like places that he'd never actually been with his wife? So there's that element to it. And then there's the other element of like, oh, actually allowing yourself to be open to being vulnerable with another person, you know, and that all that brings with him. And there was the aspect of like, because he's got kids for his previous relationship, and she had, she wasn't always on board with his particular way of parenting. And I'm not saying that, there was anything wrong with his particular way of parenting, but it's just like that didn't chime necessarily. And that was one part of friction, but they had their own individual issues. So yeah, that's been on playing on my mind recently. It's like, okay, you go through things, you go through changes, you lose people, but this thing is survivor's guilt, man. Which, like, his
There's
partner's been gone a while, and it's like, how can you smile again? How could you have someone else in your life? How can you even actually places you wanted to go with your partner who's
there's a
passed away,
brilliant,
doing them as somebody else,
yeah, yeah.
living out your dream and your deceased dream with somebody. That's a hard one, man. That's hard. Oh,
There is a brilliant Spanish poem, and I'm going to misquote it slightly, partly because it's in English, but partly because I'm going to slightly misquote it. But it says something like, "Your feet will want to walk to where I'm sleeping, but you must go on living."
well, yeah. If we can find that, we'll have to put a link to that because that's strong. Because it's like if you think about the other person would want you to go on living and making the most of your life. They would want that. Unless there was some really, unless they were like, an Egyptian pharaoh or a narcissist going like, "Hey, I'm out of here now, and you're coming with me. I don't want you having a good time without me. No, 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 no."
And also, the marriage contract is for life. It's not beyond life.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah,
it's like I remember being shocked when I heard of someone who was famous and who'd been married a really long time, and then he got married to someone else within a couple of years. And then I thought about it and thought, no, this guy likes being in life with a partner,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he was faithful to his wife for all that time. and he's allowed to have another partner. And so I have said to my husband, you can marry again. There's only one woman off the list. um, no, I don't mind if it's her, but but I wouldn't expect, and I think it's nice to let your partner know that you wouldn't expect them to just be sad for the rest of their life. What would be the point in that? They will be sad, but they need to go on living
Mm,
because
mm.
only one of you has died. You don't need both of you. It's not like I can't remember which tradition it is where they used to throw the wives on the fire with the husband,
Yeah.
which is pretty harsh.
Wasn't that the Vikings? Wasn't that the Vikings? I think they did that.
I don't know, but it was
There's probably some sect in America, who go like, yeah, let's go back to traditional values of like try and wipe at home, and then when I fast, you're on the fire with me, babe. I'm sure I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure there is some like
there is, there
so
is.
extreme MAGA.
Probably
Extreme MAGA
there'll
people
be
are like,
someone in the MAGA party saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
yeah,
bound to be. There's bound to be some weird sect.
yeah,
Always check the small print. Always check the small print.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's a poem, and I heard it that one that I just said. I heard it from the film Truly Madly Deeply,
Okay.
where the husband dies
Oh, is it
and
Alan Rickman?
heartbroken. He comes back as a ghost.
Yeah,
And
Alan
she
Rickman.
gets
Yeah,
fed
yeah,
up
yeah.
with him. She's like, "Oh, just go." And I think he turned up to just prove that he didn't need to be there and she could go on living. And
Yeah.
he gets her to read the poem, which says, "Your feet will want to walk to where I am sleeping, but you must go on living." So there you go. It's my
Yeah.
poem of the day.
Yeah. Strong stuff.
Yeah. So how is your friend?
Yeah, well, no, he's actually quite good because he was going like, well, he said to me, I thought I'd be like really upset. But then he's gone like he's got more energy than he'd been for a while. And he's doing things that he hadn't done for a while, creatively. So, but he said he without getting into too many details, that the person that he'd met, she changed over the period of time. Um,
Do.
so yeah, and that and with the and that change coupled with how she was like, wasn't mad keen on his particular parenting style. And I also add that his parenting style wasn't extreme. He wasn't going like, okay, whatever, because as soon as you go like, oh, extreme parenting, it's like, oh, what's going on there? No, but it's like, um, so yeah, so he was just going like, it's like a breath of fresh air, and I just basically said like, hey, be thankful that you managed to experience that kind of joy again. Because it doesn't very often come round. You know, because in this day and age, it's hard finding someone to vibe with it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, but breakups, oh, they're not nice.
Yeah, especially when especially our age, just go like, oh, I thought I didn't have to do that nonsense no more. Oh, I didn't have to do that nonsense no more.
It's I can remember it from like 30 years ago of breaking up with someone that I didn't want to break up with. And it was horrible. It was worse than death because they carried on living. And
Yeah, yeah. That's not allowed, is it? It's not allowed.
no, no. And but I think it's worth staying married for to not have to have the pain of a breakup. Even if he doesn't, even if he redoes the dishwasher when I've stacked it and stuff like that, I'll just be like, yeah, it's fine. At least I don't have to deal with a breakup.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as long as you put the effort in, isn't it? It's like you don't want to do these things, and then like have regret, like maybe I shouldn't have broken up. Maybe I should have tried a bit harder. So as long as you've gone like, hey, I couldn't have done any more.
Yeah, like how you feel if you go into exams where you should. I always wanted to have the feeling with exams that I'd walk out and think, whatever I did, I absolutely did my best. That is the
Yeah,
best I could do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I felt like I never want to walk out and think, oh, I could have done more there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And yeah, it's the same with everything, I suppose. It's like if you give it your best shot,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean perfect
No,
because we
it doesn't. It
perfect.
doesn't. It rarely means perfect. It's been. I might mention this before, but it's like as you know, I'm a musician. It's like the blues. I think relationships are like the blues. It's like okay, you're going for the notes, but it's the bend. It's the bending of the note. It's the like not being specific on the note that is where the magic is, right? Because I remember this was really brought home to me because I went to many years ago. I went to this concert, this gig, local gig, and there was this guy doing the blues, and like he had a shirt on. I can't remember if it was buttoned up, but it was very well ironed. Right? It was a young guy, and he was playing the blues, and it was like it had all the right notes, right? But it left me dead. It's like the Morecambe and Wise sketch. I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order. It was just like it was
With
lacking.
no soul.
It was lacking in soul because it was like, okay, these are the notes. I'm playing the notes. I'm not bringing life experience to this. It's just I'm playing it as it is, as I think it should be. No, you know, so it was perfect. If you'd seen it,
Yeah.
if you didn't know it was the blues, you'd go like, okay, he's playing that perfectly. But there's had no magic and no blues as, and I remember it because it left me so cold. I was going like, okay, so the magic is in the striving for perfection, but not actually reaching perfection.
Yeah, yeah. It's in giving it your soul, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's where the magic is. It's the little bit of grit in it. It's the little bit of, you know, it's that thing. So like when you brings me back to my pet hate of like the Botox faces. It's like when you get that perfection, it's like I think you've gone for perfection there, but it doesn't look right.
But whose perfection? That's the thing, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. So,
Who's
you know,
deciding what that is?
but I suppose yeah, that is that thing of like, whose perfection is it? But I remember that blues performance, not because it was like such a great musician, but it stayed with me for years and years about how this guy was playing the blues, and it was the most unbluesy thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand what you mean. Because my husband works with plays with other musicians because he's in a band.
Yeah,
Um and and he says it's really funny sometimes you occasionally work with kind of classically trained people who as like what you're describing,
yeah,
they know all the notes and they play in time and everything like that. But there's something just not
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Just there's an element missing. And you
yeah,
can hear it when people sing and stuff, and you can see it in what people do, where someone is just doing something without,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
there's an element missing. Yeah, I
yeah,
wonder what it is. The magic dust.
yeah. The magic dust, not in tune, not in pitch, not in time, and yeah.
Just
all
not.
those things, all those things that all those, you know, it is, isn't it? Because like you go to school and go like, okay, what do you need to do to get an A? What do you need to do to get an A plus? What do you need to get an A star? And it's like, okay, like so you're taught. It's the perfection, isn't it? You've got to get the right, have to have the right answers. It's drilled into you. It's drilled into you. And like because we judged all the time. When you do, even with creative stuff, it's like, okay, that artist is better than that artist. That piece of art is worth more than that piece of art. Um, yeah, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, you strive for the best you can do. But if it's not, so people who are perfectionists, they must have a horrible time. Oh my gosh, it's just struck me. Perfectionists, they must be miserable all the time. And the more miserable they get, the less close, the further away from perfection they're going to get. Oh my gosh, what a
Yeah,
loop! What a loop!
it is a loop. It is a loop. My one of my daughters has got a job this summer at Edinburgh Fringe as a reviewer.
Okay.
So she's got to go and watch loads of shows for free at the Fringe and review them.
Yeah,
And I think, oh my goodness, what a hard job because she is such a nice,
yeah,
gentle person.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna write scathing reviews. She's gonna be looking for the good in everything. She's gonna be
yeah,
giving everything unconditional positive regard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so I don't know if people review her reviewing, how they
yeah.
going to with that.
Who's it for? Is it for just for a magazine or
It's for yeah, it's for a student review magazine.
okay? So
Like
I mean, so she's bribable then.
totally bribable because she doesn't actually get paid for it. She gets her accommodation and she gets the free shows.
But actually, that's worth a lot because Edinburgh at
That
that
is
time
worth
is
a lot.
is extortion times two. It is. I've got a friend who lives in Edinburgh, and like if he's he's often taught. I mean, because he performs at that particular time of year as well in some shows, as because he's a musician. He's just got like if times were ever really tough and he fell out of love with music, he would just like rent out his flat and go somewhere else because he could probably pay for like 3 months worth of
Don't
work.
tell me that because my other daughter is starting at Edinburgh University in September.
Fridge time. Woo.
I'm gonna have to sell a lot of books.
Absolutely.
She's not staying there during the summer. She's coming
Oh,
home in the summer. I'm not renting a place in Edinburgh over the summer.
yeah. Yeah. So make sure she got any resits, she got past first time. All exams. No summer resits.
No, no resits allowed.
No summer resits. And if you've got to do any work, it'll be online only in the summer.
Yeah, yeah,
Tell
yeah.
her up front. Tell her up front. Gotta set the boundaries. Hey, this is what's expected. Do what you like. Do what you like in term time. But make sure you pass
You
because
come home in the
in
summer.
the summertime, those rent rates, no one can afford those.
No. I don't know if you've been in this position, but I'm going to have two at university at the same time. So I'll have one in
Yeah,
Bristol, one in Edinburgh.
yeah, yeah. I
Both of
had
them are not cheap places.
oh, I had my son was in London, my daughter was in Oxford. I tell you, I like to calculate, I like to plan, and you do the calculations, go like, you're like, okay, baked bean settings for me. It's like, okay, spaghetti bolognese once a month, but most of the time it's baked beans, so that my kids can enjoy the fruits of my labor to like set them up for life. Son comes along, goes like, yeah, this medicine thing, it's like a 5-year course. Yeah, I want to do an extra year because I want to be a surgeon. I said, well, that's not in the plan. I said, that's not in the plan. I said, look at the spreadsheet. Look at the financial spreadsheet. That was not in the plan. Ah,
Yep.
I, I remember him saying to me, I said, like, I got to plan this stuff like 3 years in advance. And he turned up to me one day, he said, like, yeah, I'm moving house, like, me and my friends. I said, oh, that's good. He said, like, yeah, I need, month's rent and, 2 months deposit. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, when do you need it by? Uh, in a week. I said, you what? I hung up on him. I hung up on him straight. I said, he called me back. I said, what did I do that for? I said, look, hey, I told you from the very beginning. I said, I've had to plan this stuff for 3 years. See these real baked beans I'm eating here. I said,
Need to
I
eat.
said, I can support you, but I don't like surprises. This you want in 3 months' rent. And so we were talking, we're talking London rents here. We're talking London rents here, right? And you want that next week? I know, see the flow, see the chart, see the spreadsheet. That wasn't there. That's not on there. That's an anomaly. And that's outside the normal boundary. That's a super outlier.
Yeah,
Well, you got
yeah.
to do it. And then and my daughter, okay, okay, okay. Right. She went to Oxford Brookes University, right? Okay. She's been in she's in the whole she was when she was here in the north, I made the mistake of going like you've got to try lots of different things, right? Unfortunately for me, the thing that she found that she really loved was horse riding. So I mean, up here, she was like, paying the money out, and then she volunteered at a place, so she got horse riding at a reduced rate. Oxford, Oxford rates, Oxford rates. So she starts mixing with a up here. She was like, she couldn't really find her tribe. Down there, she found her people. And unfortunately, her people drive Range Rovers. I love horse riding. I go shooting on a regular basis. I'm thinking that's pain.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Trauma. Coming for flashbacks. Give me a go going like, you don't really support me. I said,
Oh, that was a really great thing that my university did was when I was in the riding club there, and for
yeah,
£5, I mean, this was in ancient times,
yeah,
but
yeah,
for £5, because I was in Southampton, we got
yeah,
taken to the New Forest and could go on a hack all afternoon. And
yeah,
£5,
yeah,
that's all right. That is the
yeah,
way to do horse riding. We didn't have to
yeah.
maintain those horses or look after them or anything.
Oh,
But
zero. Oh, she told me this story. She was, because like, I was, I've been a career advisor. So, she works, she got a job, part-time job in the career service, the student career service. And like her boss, she got on really well with her boss. Um, and her boss was, she was also into horses. So they would chat, chat, chat. Right. And she told me this story that her boss, like, she'd, with her student loan, what had she done? She bought a horse. Bought a horse. Didn't tell her parents. Didn't tell her parents. I said, daughter, I love you. Don't try that stuff. Don't try that. Don't try that meat. Don't try it. Don't try it. I said,
oh my God.
she didn't, she didn't tell her parents. And then she just, can you imagine the audacity of that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And we're not even talking about the amount it takes to upkeep horses. You know. And this is down Oxford Way. Down Oxford Way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't live far from Oxford. Well,
Oh,
I live halfway between Oxford and London, so yeah, I know about both.
okay. So you understand what I'm talking about. It's not nothing's cheap. Nothing's cheap in that area. Outrageous.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh,
Um,
dear. So she, and my daughter's dropping. It's like, you know what? Once you look at it, when you spread the costs over like X number of years, it's not too bad. I said, stop right there. I said, stop right there. Right there.
one of my really good friends, she's got 3 horses, and it's like having children
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
there's always something going on with one of
yeah.
them, and
Absolutely,
um,
absolutely.
you know,
Yeah. Good friend of mine. Um, he married a woman who was into horses, and he makes a lot of money, and now he's got very little money. So like, and he works in the Bank of England, that kind of neck of the woods, financial that neck of the woods, and it's like, oh, horses need so much land, and there's a veterinary bills and all this kind of thing, and yeah,
but they are lovely, and they are actually really, really great for people. My friend who's got the horses, she also works for Riding for the Disabled,
okay, okay, yeah,
and that is amazing because horses are really lovely animals, and they are so friendly, and they're so intelligent, and they don't judge anyone. So
yeah,
they're like, if you're nice to them, I mean,
yeah,
they're just nice, gentle creatures. And we were at the Windsor Horse Show, and we I was there with Caroline, the friend I'm talking about, and we interviewed. Oh, I've forgotten her name. She's a horse rider, a Paralympian for
okay, yeah, yeah,
um, and yeah, she was saying that horses just don't judge you. They're your friend, and they're really nice. So they are absolutely lovely animals. And if I could afford it, I would, if I made loads of money suddenly, I would have horses.
yeah.
But I'm so glad that I didn't get into it, and that my daughters didn't get into it because it
Yeah.
costs such a
There is no denying the positive benefits of horses and mental health. However, exorbitant costs. I'd
yeah,
recommend, I'd recommend yoga instead.
yeah, yeah. But that's why charities like Riding for the Disabled are such a good idea because
Yeah,
they are, it is a lovely thing to do. And um, there's like people with mobility issues or whose lives are very difficult and challenging get
yeah,
to just commune with this animal and
yeah,
um, form a relationship, and they can move as well.
yeah, yeah,
So, a lot of the time they can't move around, but the horse will take them around.
yeah, yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah, it is. It is lovely, but it is a case of like, "Phew, dear."
And not if you're the dad or the
But
mum.
when when my daughter told me that like her boss was like, oh yeah, with her student though, she just casually just bought a horse, just like, ah, dear, oh, ah,
That's
oh
quite crazy.
man. Woo. So yeah,
Yeah. Now, doing positive things though that make you feel good is really important. That's being
yeah.
alive, isn't it? Have you seen, do you have, I shouldn't even say this name, but Amazon Prime, do you have that as a TV channel?
I do have Amazon Prime. No, actually, my son has Amazon Prime, and I use his.
Have you seen the program Last One Laughing?
Do you know what? I've just finished watching it. And that is a hardcore program. That is a hardcore program. I tell you, I said one of the funniest things I've seen. Have you seen all the episodes?
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've seen in years. And I saw this script and I just thought that is a reason to live right there. You had the Minnie Riperton sing along. They had to, Jimmy Carr comes out and he goes like, right, I'm gonna play a tune and you've got to each person has got to sing it. And it was like, the one like Minnie Riperton famous for having a 7 octave range, you know? It's like and they're doing that, and then this I can't remember the name of the girl who burst out laughing at the end. I think it was her name's Hattie. And she was trying and she was trying to keep a straight face. And when the rest of them come in like and Richard Iowati starts clicking his fingers, it's like and Bob Mortimer. I start going like, oh, we're giving you the beat. I just lost it. That right there. That's worth living for. Just that bit that was hysterical. I was on the floor. How fantastic. It was just like
That program could not have come at a better time for me
yeah,
because um, I think it's really brilliant if you're dealing with sadness. And for the benefit of the tape, I'm dealing with the death of my 48-year-old brother. Um, uh, to absolutely laugh was just perfect
yeah,
medicine.
yeah, yeah,
They say laughter is the best medicine and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
It was just
Oh,
brilliant. And I
oh,
think the beauty of that was it was 12 or was it 10 very, very funny people.
yeah.
But everyone knows about being in this situation where you're not supposed to laugh
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah,
funny that is when you're trying to go.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Number of
And
times I've been sent
and
out of class
and,
and things like that.
Richard Iowati, he's the Iceman.
He
He's
is
but
so
when he cracked at the end, when it's just him and Bob Mortimer going for it, and it's like, and Richard Iowati's going like, actually, I just set myself up for failure here because Bob Mortimer brought out his joke book, and he just went for me, and he just
he
took
was
me
just
down
like
bit by
firing
bit,
blank.
just like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh,
Yeah, he did set himself up as a victim to be fired at. But
yeah.
the clip that I've watched over and over again there is when Mortimer makes Iowati laugh for the first time when he says, "My mother was an arms dealer. She sold swords." Iowati just
Oh, oh,
what a magic program.
absolutely,
When you
absolutely.
look at like reality TV,
Yeah,
that is actually getting the formula right, isn't it?
absolutely. You get people doing what they do best and trying not to do it in a short space of time because they film it all over 6 hours. It's not like, it's like Big Brother, compressed Big Brother for comedians, isn't it?
Mm.
So it's not like a long drawn out thing. It's just like, okay, you're all the best at what you do. Let's go. Let's see who's the king. And Bob Morton was the king.
Yeah, Yeah. But it was yeah, I mean they were all very, very funny people. Sarah Pascoe, um, she was out first
Yeah,
and
yeah,
is a really, really brilliant, talented, funny
yeah, yeah.
person, but she couldn't hold it together. I wouldn't last five
No,
minutes.
it's hard. It's hard. And then they've got all their techniques going on, like biting tongues and like, what's it, eating apples and like, it was
They were doing,
ridiculous. Yeah,
and Daisy May Cooper was doing that,
yeah, yeah.
pursing her lips so that she
You're
couldn't.
like, you know, it's hard. It's hard. And then they start walking away. Then people start following them. Oh, but like, who got out? Was it Lou Sanders? She'd have got illuminated laughing at her own jokes. That's just it.
Was it Lou that said naughty torty to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
naughty
yeah.
torty?
That's
Oh, that was the best thing I've seen in ages, and it was just perfect timing for me.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you have to remember to laugh. I mean, it's so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. So yeah, yeah. But I'll say it's in fact when we finish here, I'm gonna go back and watch some of that because that was, when they're going when Richard Ayoade and the rest of them are going like, are we giving you the beat? And he's trying to sing